Today, I want to share with you how you can both feel the best you've ever felt and achieve all that you have ever wanted to achieve, or how you haven't even known what you wanted to achieve to get that. Right? And this is something that I practice on a daily basis. I've been practicing it for about 17 years. I've been practicing it, and it's been accelerated actually about 8 years ago when I became a celibate monk. And I've got a glorious life. And I want to share with you how you can do this. Now, this is a very simplified version, and it's not easy to do, but it is very simple when you look at the principles for transformation and the principles of creation in our life. Right? So the first thing that we need to do is that we need to decide what we want. Now, this might seem, again, like I know what I want. I'm pretty clear what I want. I don't need you to tell me that I know what I want. And for a lot of us, we don't actually own this is something that we want in our lives, that we want to make more money, that we want to be more fulfilled in our job, that we want to be happier in our relationships, in our romantic relationships, that we want to have a romantic partner, we want to meet a husband or a wife or a partner to have kids with, or whatever it is that we want. Like, really be clear about that thing that you want. And be clear that it's something that you're going to want in like 6 months, that it's something that's really, really important to you, because without that sincere burning desire to have something, it's very difficult to achieve them. Now, it could be an internal experience that you want to have, and you're very clear that that's what you want to have. Whatever it is, the first thing you have to do is decide what it is that you want and be really clear about what it is. Now, if there's something that you want, but you don't think you could ever have it, that's the sign of a limited belief about that thing, right? And all of us have them, including myself. I have plenty of limited beliefs. What's beautiful about how we can transform those beliefs is that we don't have to work at it per se. Right? Because as soon as you get clear that you want something, at one point in my life, I wanted to make like $50,000 in a job, and that was double what I had ever made in my life. Prior to that, I think it was like 27 or something, and I was broke and $80,000 in debt and all this crazy stuff. Anyway, I became clear that I was like, wow, I think I could do that. And within 6 months, I had procured a job that paid me $50K a year and gave me everything that I wanted at that time in my life. And the way that I did that is I became very clear that that's something that I wanted. And then as I hit these limited beliefs that would stop me from believing that I could have that thing, what's beautiful about life is that it will take us on a path that will eventually get us there. So let's say that you want something. Let's say that you want a job that pays you like $300,000 a year, right? What will probably happen is you will start getting confronted by reflections from the world around you that mimic or that express the limited beliefs that you have about money, right? Or about, let's take relationship. You want a caring, beautiful, intimate, admirable, passionate relationship with someone, right? I'm talking about a romantic relationship. And what will often happen right away is the opposite of that. Why? Because life is seeing that this is what we want. Now, it's actually life inside of us. It's not out. It's both inside and outside of us. But our experience of life is going to bring up, because we're focused on this long destination, it's going to bring up all the things that are in the way of that. Because the way that life works is that we are life, and that we only stop ourselves from experiencing the glory and the joy and the deep peace and the deep fulfillment of life by obstacles that we have created or been programmed to create by society, by our parents, by our families. So what happens when we have a kind of audacious goal is that it will feel like really hard, and we'll be confronted by all this limited thinking that we have or doubts that we have about achieving that. That's only because we are being reflected back to us how to navigate those obstacles and how to remove them. Now, how do you do that? That's a whole nother technique. But know that when you start getting clear on getting what you want and shifting your beliefs, it will likely get uncomfortable. The other piece is that you need to get uncomfortable, right? On that note, is that if we want to achieve more than what we currently are achieving, or feeling more than we're actually feeling, or feeling better than we're actually feeling, it means we're going to have to leave our comfort zone and leave the familiar and get into the unfamiliar, right? I remember when I was a kid, I really wanted to play in the NFL. I grew up in the 80s and 90s in Wisconsin, and I was a huge Walter Payton fan. He was like one of the best running backs of all time. I loved football. I played a lot of football, but I was like 5'5" and like 110, 120 pounds. We'd play football in the streets, and I was like, fine. I mean, I was okay. And I remember I tried playing high school football when I was like a sophomore. And I was just terrible. I mean, number one, I wasn't fast. Number two, I couldn't catch the ball. Number three, I was too small. I was just getting crushed, So I was never going to make it to the NFL. But if I got really clear that I wanted to play in the NFL, what would have happened, I can say this with certainty because it's happened in other places of my life, most notably on becoming a monk. There's another video about that. You can apply it to this, actually. So I wanted to be in the NFL. If I wanted to make it to the NFL, what would have happened is that I would have just gone after that goal. And eventually, if I stuck with it, I would have achieved the feelings and the achievement of that own customized goal as I got closer and closer to it. So for example, how would I have felt and what would I have gotten by playing in the NFL? Well, if I really look at it at that time of my life, I would have been really, really good at something, right? And I would have felt proud or felt confident. I would have gotten the adoration of others, right? Some part of me wanted to be famous and be on posters and things like that, right? I wanted to be really strong in my body, right? And compete on a very high level. All of those things, actually, now that I name them like that, have actually happened in a way, right? I don't have the same desire to be like super famous or to compete at a high level. Competition is the thing that I don't really appreciate. I like kind of teamwork now. But all of those things have actually come to manifest because on some level I had a similar goal inside of myself since I was a little kid. Now it shifted from obviously playing in the NFL to other kinds of things and a lot of other things. But regardless of what your goal, and this is why people say that all dreams can come true. Because as we start achieving those dreams, it may get manifest. Like I've heard stories of great actors who had this really clear goal about being an actor, and that was all they wanted, and they worked really hard to get it, and they got it. Right? All of, I think, the world famous actors have had a similar story around this. And there are a lot of people that we don't hear about that decided they wanted to do something great, didn't give up on it, and were just moved in a different direction, but they got what they wanted to feel, right? Because ultimately, it's all about feelings. Even if you have millions of dollars, what does that do for you? It has you feel a certain way. It has you feel probably comfortable in a certain way, right? But we can do that. I know people in India that have nothing and are happier and more fulfilled and more comfortable than the billionaires of our country, right? So this is how you get what you want. This is how you shift your beliefs, is you start, you don't give up, and as the limitation that you've created is reflected to you in the outside world, you navigate it, you transform it, and you stay clearly focused on what it is that you want, while at the same time staying flexible around where life guides you, trusting that you will still get the level of fulfillment and achievement that you want. Good luck.